What's up, hockey fam? Welcome to Pucking Around Podcast, episode 86. We got a good one for you tonight. Along with me here are my two buddies, Rick Seligman. Say hi, Rick.
Hi, Rick.
And Cam Sakarzik.
Yo,
So,
I got
Cam.
some new drip.
Oh, I like the youth.
That's
That's
it
a
looks
fucking
good.
nice jersey, man. That is beautiful.
Clean.
nicer live.
Girlfriend hates it. Girlfriend
yeah?
hates it.
Why?
Yeah, nope. She
No, that's
is
not
on.
cool.
She is on the side of if you're from your city, you should root for the team, and that's it. Like, you know what I mean?
Wait, I mostly believe that, but no, I mean, listen, you like who you like, but I mean, I'm like that, but it's not. That's not for everybody. You can like who you like.
But
Honestly, I have a hard time wearing another team's jersey.
No, I do too. I wouldn't, but I mean, I'm not saying someone shouldn't be able to do that.
Oh no, absolutely
Yeah,
not.
that's
You do you, man. You do you.
Yeah, exactly.
I honestly, guys, I think it's solely because I have so many different team jerseys. Like, I think it's more along the lines of the fact that I'm spending money like on all these things, like, you know, the Eichel jersey. And she goes, "Why?" I'm like, well, he's from Chelmsford, and I'm trying to like really fake these things of like why I'm getting it. And she just goes, "Fine, why the mammoth?" I'm like, "Yeah,
because
the logo is fucking nice." Like,
hey, listen,
it was really hard.
You can always fall back on becoming the American hockey guy with all the sweaters.
Yeah,
there you go. There you go.
You don't know who the hockey guy is, do you?
Well, no, but
I
you
know
know what's
Lager.
funny? We
You do,
went out
yeah.
with her parents for lunch, and I actually wore a Red Wings, like, you know, just fanatics like t-shirt, and her father's a all Boston guy, and so he was staring at it, and he just goes, "So why the Red Wings?" And I was like, "Original 16." But that's all I could get. So yeah, no,
I like original.
I don't
16
care.
too.
Yeah, I don't care. New drip. The jersey's nasty. The stitching is nice. I'm not gonna complain.
I'd probably be the same way if one of my boys brings like a girl over and she's wearing Leafs gear.
Yeah.
I'd be like, okay,
No,
why?
that's just sinful.
Why?
Yeah.
You're not good enough for my son.
All right. Well, let's get this a little bit back on track there. So,
All right.
in today's episode, we'll be touching on some new signings in the past week or so. We couldn't really touch up on it last week. We did our live draft, so we'll hit on that. Then we're gonna do a little bit of general hockey talk, a couple of subjects here and there. It'll be a little bit of a surprise. And would you rather? We're gonna be asking, what would you rather, an elite power play or an elite penalty kill? And then finally, we will be presenting the winner of our Puck Bunny of the Week. So,
Bunny magnet. That'd be weird if we had a Puck Bunny.
We should have a Puck
A
Bunny.
little sexist. We shouldn't do that.
We should. Oh, well, if we did
you
both.
just get like a little puck and you put like some ears and a little, you know, like,
Yeah,
it'd be kind of cool.
I don't mind it. I don't mind it.
we can make it family friendly.
As long as we don't make it into like, you know, it was just just simple.
No, we're not gonna. No, if we
mind.
we can
like
objectify
Puck
these hockey players. Like,
Well, no, they're not the puck bunnies are women.
I know it's this is the magnet.
Yeah,
I know.
but we're not. We don't mean it like.
We can make it
It's
entertaining.
just a generality. We're talking about general. Puck Bunny is someone in hockey that is good looking.
Yeah,
I don't discriminate. Men, women, whatever.
Yeah. All right,
you're good looking. You're good looking.
I voted.
That's the way it
I
is.
voted in this week's Puck Bunny magnet. I give credit where credit's due.
I can admit when it's a handsome man.
But Minnie Mouse is my Puck Bunny magnet every week.
I'm gay if I
so
think
Puck
someone
Bunny.
is. Oh, that's a handsome man. Doesn't mean I'm gay.
No, at all.
Well, now we're getting Rick
right.
off on a tangent.
No,
Guys,
I'm
it's
saying
also-
it doesn't. So yeah, I'm fine with it. I'm just saying I'm fine with it. It's not a problem. I don't know why you're looking at me.
I didn't say anything.
We're trying to
I'm
be
just here
supportive,
trying to talk
Rick.
about Connor McDavid's contract. We're talking about bunnies.
Yeah, like a week later, which is fine. I mean, hey, it's better late than never. It's also been week 1, guys, of the NHL season. We've officially begun, so fuck
And,
yeah,
and we
we're
do
there.
have a very brand new breaking news almost signing.
Almost.
Well,
Lane
go
Hutson.
ahead, Rick. Go ahead.
Lane Hutson, 8 years, $8.85 million. We'll get to that. Don't worry.
Well, why don't we start with it? Let's start with the contracts that were signed. We had we'll go from I don't know, least to most recent, I guess. You know, being the 3 that were signed last week, and
Yeah.
McDavid,
Yeah.
Eichel, and Kyle Connor. McDavid took a extremely friendly deal. Just basically, I believe, is the same contract value, right?
Same contract, same number. Yeah.
Oh, wow. 2 years. We can get into if that means actually. Does that mean he's putting Edmonton on the clock, or is he allowing them to build the team around him and understanding with the cap trajectory that the next contract he could still stay, but he's not going to take the discount? Like,
Yeah,
what
I think
does that
that's
mean?
understood. I think that's understood. And like Lane Hutson did similar. He took less. And for that reason,
There's a big difference, and I'll
stated.
get into that.
He took a low number because he could have gotten more if he held out. He could have gotten more. He could have got more elsewhere for sure.
I think there's a massive difference between what Luke Evangelista, like, all the younger signings were, like, Lane Hutson, Luke Evangelista, Luke Hughes, a couple of those guys. I think there's a massive difference between what they signed for and what McDavid did. And I can explain. I'll actually explain why. Is that
there may be well, first of all, but at least for Lane Hutson, I happen to know I've got quotes from him to know that that's what he did. He showed his commitment, and they want to win, and he didn't. He didn't take as much as he could have got, in the hopes that would help.
But that's fine. But Lane Hudson's also not Connor McDavid, and I think the big difference is that Connor McDavid is a. But I think there's a big difference being that Connor McDavid, Jack Eichel, and Kyle Connor, those three players, those are NHL veterans. They're like 20, 28 plus years old.
Yeah.
In the league. There's a massive difference between those three guys and a guy like Lane Hutson, who does not have 2 seasons under his belt, and a guy like Luke Hughes, who does not have 2 seasons under his belt. I actually don't like the Luke Hughes signing.
But wait a second. What's the difference in the sentiment or what the player was doing? There's no difference. Hudson could have signed for say 4 years, and in 4 years signed for $15 million and 17 million. But he didn't do that. So it's the same kind of thing. It's just the same kind of thing. I get what you're saying, but I'm saying
the sentiment is the same, but the value is different.
Right. That's all I was saying.
And that's what I'm arguing. Like, you can have the same sentiment, but that the same caliber of player, and I think the years of NHL experience matter here.
But he may be down the road.
And maybe Eric agrees with me on that. Is like, do you give a guy who's only given you 1.5, 2 years that kind of value without really proving it, despite the cap going up?
No, I honestly I think we even touched on it last week or something. Like, before he was signed, I'd said it. I go, if he's looking for over 9, I'm not signing until December, because if you want that much money, you got to prove to me that last year wasn't a fluke. I'll take a chance under 9. If you want, he got what, 8.85 if I'm not mistaken.
8.85, yeah.
Yeah. So okay, it's not crazy money considering that where the cap is going. It's it's what we might be accustomed to, the last couple of years of a $6 or $7 million defenseman. So it's not a bad contract. It's pretty good contract for what he's shown so far. Could he have gotten more? Look, I heard the Canadiens didn't want to go over what they gave Dobson. Makes sense, because you just traded for the guy. Dobson has more experience in the league. He's been around longer. And in all honesty, look, the Canadiens, at the end of the day, the Canadiens had all the power was in their corner.
Of course.
Lane Hutson wasn't arbitration eligible next year.
Of course he had no leverage, really.
He had zero. Lane Hutson had zero leverage. So look, could he have maybe gotten more if you would have waited till the But even at the end of the day, look, I think maybe Rick, I think we're both right in a way, because look, I think he did do the Canadiens a favor, because signing now at that number,
down the road, he did.
Yeah, but because look, if he would have bet on himself, let's say Lane Hutson bets on himself and says, you know what, guys, I'm good waiting till the summer. I'm good waiting till the off season, and he has another monster season. Then he would have been in his right to ask for $10-11 million.
Yeah.
So I think both sides gave a little, and look, at the end of the day, that was the outcome. 8.85 over, I think it was 8 years, right? 8 or 7. Sorry, I don't remember.
8 years.
8 years. Okay, good contract. He's young.
From what I understand, with the deferred money, not deferred, with the signing bonus is very signing bonus heavy. And being that he's an American, this will do well for him. It's why another reason why he did take less money, because he's going to do just as good financially. And besides, that kind of money every year anyway, you're doing fine.
Oh yeah,
sure.
You're doing fine.
I think you'll be okay. Even with the taxes and everything, you'll be fine.
And he'll have another big contract in his life. He'll have another big one in his life.
We'll
only be
get back to
when it's over.
We'll get back to Lane Hutson, but to the McDavid question, because I think it was great to bring up Lane Hutson, because the sentiment with respect to Montreal is the same with the respect to McDavid to Edmonton. But again, it's shorter term. So what does that mean? Is it truly like you need to win within these next, because technically it's 3 years, including this year, and then he's gone? Or is it going to be, or is he going to look at the team in the next 2 years or 3 years, and he's going to be like, okay, we're actually trending in a massively correct direction, with Howard, like say Isaac Howard and Savoie do well. Does he then stay there? Like, especially with the cap trajectory, he gave them a big opportunity, to succeed.
Yeah.
They'll have $22 million next year in cap. It's a lot.
Yeah. No, look,
it also makes Kirill Kaprizov look like a schmuck, but
it does.
I think McDavid just basically, he gave Edmonton like a 3-year window to prove to him that like they're serious and that they want to be like a competitor. Like, look, it's kind of stupid to say, because like they have made the finals 2 years in a row. So it's like, how much more, like, but at the same time, like, I find their best chance was actually the one 2 years ago where they had to win. Last year's cup final, I found like, technically I thought they should have lost in the first round, but whatever, it's fine. But I don't think
how Hiller has a job is crazy, but all right, yeah, sorry.
I just don't think that team was a Stanley Cup winning roster from the one from last year, especially with that goaltending.
Right, and that's where it lies.
And I think that's like, if McDavid was sure that this team was a real like cup contender, cup favorite, an actual threat to win every year, he would have signed long term. And so there's something going on there that that just doesn't sit right with him. And I'm pretty sure it has a lot to do with the goaltending.
Yeah, it's got
the fact that they like it drives me crazy, because okay, fine, you don't want to give up on Skinner. He's young. That's fine. Don't get rid of Skinner. Keep him. Who cares? But you're telling me you can't upgrade on Calvin Pickard? There's nobody in the league better than Calvin Pickard that was available this summer?
Well, Seelobs.
I know.
Look at Seelobs. I'm trying to remember where he is, but at Pittsburgh. And he's playing really like that was a mistake right there for Edmonton if he was available.
I think it was a big mistake by Vancouver.
And that's
Vancouver gave him up.
That's what McDavid is for me. He's saying, even though, we were in the finals the last 2 years, like, what are you complaining about, kind of? If we had a goaltender, we'd have won the cup. And that's what he's talking about. I want the team around me that can actually win the cup, not just get there.
Yep.
I think. And I think he's giving them 3 years to either win a cup or have that team around him that he's satisfied with, that he's actually got the real chance to do it. And then I think he'll sign. And I think if they don't do it, he's going to sign with them, but for big money.
Yeah, and look, he's giving them at least a little bit for next season and the season after. He's giving them a little bit extra money to go get a goalie, to go get an extra winger, to go get a depth defenseman. Yeah. And actually, at the end of the day, I don't even think their defense is that bad. I honestly think they just really could use another middle six winger, like another scoring middle six winger, and a legit goalie to either tandem or to start. Yeah. That's all they're missing.
Yeah.
But yet I don't know how long it is that they just can't address it. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. And not to have Trent Frederick to start on the first line with McDavid and Dreisaitl. God, that was wow. Boston legend Trent Frederick started the season on the first line with McDavid and Dreisaitl. I mean, McDavid's like fucking Brady, dude. He turns shit into gold, but I don't think he was going to turn Trent Frederick into a 30-goal scorer. So I mean,
but that's what he's talking about. He's losing. Now here's your opportunity. Get this team to where it needs to be, or I'm either leaving or I'm signing for big money with you guys if you want to keep it.
Yeah, either no more discount or buy.
Nothing more. Yeah, that's it. I'll just take the money.
Good contract. I actually think great for McDavid. I think he's going to own up to his promise, or he's owning up to his promise, rather. He said that he was going to bring the cup back to Edmonton. I think that's great. I think it speaks to his character and who he is. He honestly doesn't need any more money. If you've taken one goddamn look at that man's house,
of course
he's good. Trust me. It's not about money for him at this point. It's about he wants to win.
And he's got endorsement money too. He's got all kinds.
Yep.
Made plenty of money.
He probably hasn't spent a damn dime of his actual NHL earnings.
He wants to win a cup. You know what? He like all the great players, they have egos. He also wants to be in that conversation, and when he's done, as one of the greatest players ever. And to do that, he's going to have to win a cup.
Yep. Let's quickly go on to Eichel, because Eichel signed 8 years, $13.5 million. I thought that was pretty good for him.
Yeah.
Some people thought it was a bit of an overpay, and I said, no, he's good. He's on a good team. He's going to put up the points. It's 8 years. Cap's going up. Vegas doesn't care, because if they don't like him, they'll just trade him. That's honestly what they'll do. So it doesn't really matter.
The salary cap just doesn't apply to them.
It doesn't. Mark Stone's spleen is probably going to burst at any point,
but wait,
he'll be ready for playoffs.
But now they closed the loophole. Maybe it matters a little more to them. I don't know.
They did.
We'll see.
But I thought it was great for Eichel. He seems to like it a lot in Vegas. Happy for him. Happy he found a team that, actually likes him and wants to invest in him, not Buffalo. So, which at this point, I'll get into Buffalo later. But,
we're going to talk about Buffalo.
We're going to talk about Buffalo. We're also going to talk about the Leafs too.
Why? Something. I must be missing something. Why specifically Buffalo? But we'll find out.
Buffalo's awful, number one, and Buffalo also prevented him from getting I think it was a disc fusion surgery.
No,
yeah,
I thought it was for
disc replacement. The Sabres wanted disc fusion.
The Sabres, no, he wanted. Oh yeah, right.
He wanted disc replacement surgery.
Yeah, he wanted the new type of surgery. They said no. Yeah,
and Buffalo's like, no, we'll just do the regular disc fusion. And he's like, no.
Oops.
Which is no surprise considering the Sabres. It's no surprise they want mediocrity instead of
we're definitely going to touch upon that. Definitely. 0-3. Sorry.
Well, we're here now. I guess we're talking about Eichel, so let's go.
We're going to get there because I don't have enough time to talk about poorly about
in another episode. Okay.
Yeah, no, we'll talk about Buffalo later. We should definitely get through these contracts very quickly. And then, Kyle Connor, 8 years, $12 million. I think that one was a tad much. I think 11 million is where I had him, but he's good. He's talented. I'm not going to complain.
Yeah, same. I can't look. It's so hard, even just in general, for Winnipeg to keep players. But then say that it just seems like they sign everybody anyway.
No, but they have to give that extra money.
Signs.
But you got to give the extra, and they gave him a little extra, and he stayed there. I mean, I don't blame him.
It really sounds like Winnipeg bent on a lot of things. Like they don't like giving out bonuses. You got a lot of bonuses and things like that. So look, Kyle Connor is a really, really good player in this league. He's one of the top wingers.
Oh, without a doubt.
And look, he got paid pretty much more or less what he deserved. Is it a slight overpay? Would have 11 looked nicer? Yeah, okay.
But are you going to split hairs?
It's Winnipeg.
Yeah,
it's Winnipeg.
You're splitting hairs at that. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you really willing to lose this guy over $1 million a year?
Not when you're Winnipeg, because who you're going to get back, you don't know, and you not a lot.
Maybe a goaltender that can actually play in the playoffs.
Well, but not a lot of guys really want to sign to go there. That's the thing. It's not a great. I'm not. It's not to put them down. I've never been there, but I mean, it is Winnipeg. That's all I can say. It should be enough said.
It is Winnipeg.
We've touched a lot on Lane Hutson. I think it's a good signing. I don't want to spend too much time on it because we did bring up a lot of it with respect to how he compared to Connor McDavid in the sense of the sentiment contract, not skill level. I actually like that for Montreal. 8 years, 8.5. I think Lane Hutson's going to be a stud. I think he might have an okay year. You have to say, he's going to take not a step back, but it's like a half step, and then he's going to take a giant leap forward. I like Lane Hutson. I'm excited to see what he's going to do in the NHL. I just think giving people that much money only a year and a half in the NHL, it's risk. That's the only thing I have to say on it. But I think it'll work out. Luke Hughes is the one that I think is risk. I think that one's the risk.
Yeah, that one.
That's the overpayment for sure.
That one's really more betting on what he can be than like what he's actually shown you so far.
Yep.
We'll see. Look. The other two Hughes brothers look like they're decent. So, and he's shown flashes. He's solid. So, look,
it's just getting him to a consistent pace. That's what I want to see.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Like, could he live up to it? Yeah. Like, at the end of the day, if he doesn't, like, with the cap going up, $9 million might be like high end second pair defenseman. So,
yeah.
I hope it works out for them. But, well, actually, no, I don't hope it works out for them. I'm a Flyers fan. So I hope this blows up in their face.
But you talking about Hughes now or Hutson? Who are you talking about now?
Well, we just briefly touched upon Hughes because that was right. But Hutson, honestly, great signing by Montreal. They're going to be good for a long time.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, in 3 years, and he should be playing pretty well, that's a steal of a contract.
Yeah, for the first half of it, I think you'll see like his growing pains, probably, and then the later half of it's going to be dominance.
He might not have too many. And another thing also about that deal, no movement clause. At the last 3 seasons of it, he's got a 10-team no trade list. That's it.
He can't have a no movement clause. It's ineligible for the first few years.
Oh,
yeah, I think so.
Since when is that? Oh, okay, there you go.
Yeah,
but even when they could give him one, it's still not a no movement clause.
Yeah,
so I think that's pretty impressive because everybody wants a fucking no movement clause.
Well, I mean, when you're a guy like him, or like a player that's going to be a franchise guy, or like or the face of your franchise, yeah, I would imagine that they don't want no movement clauses. They can't, modified no trade clause.
I mean, that's basically what he's got.
Sign that deal.
Yeah.
I brought it up again on Hibernation last night. I just can't let it go. I can't let it go. Every time I hear his name, it like hurts. When he scored a goal, I couldn't let it go. I said, "There's $3.4 million that you can't move." I couldn't let it go. Can't let it go. Sorry, that was my own gripe.
Let me hold it.
I do.
Yeah, obviously.
$3.4 million.
Just quickly, I was actually
playing on the first line.
Just quickly for shits and giggles, just looking at Luke Hughes' stats, and he actually has 4 points in 2 games so far for New Jersey. And
he's earning it.
And his underlying numbers are actually really freaking good.
Yeah, right now I think he's earning it. I'm not going to lie to you, he is.
Luke Hughes?
Luke Hughes.
Yeah, he's earning it.
He's a Hughes brother.
I just wonder when it's going to drop off. That's it. And if it doesn't, awesome. I'm happy to admit I was wrong.
Well, I mean, they're obviously paying him in the expectations that it won't drop off.
No. They were paying him because look, he wasn't putting up bad stats before. It's just that he wasn't maybe a $9 million defenseman yet, but because he had 44. No, again, it's points, but whatever. He had 44 points in 71 games last season and 47 in 82 the season before. So
that's not bad enough. That's not bad.
Yeah, that's some good production. His underlying numbers were solid. But yeah, if he could take it to the next step and actually become like a 60 to 70 point defenseman, shut PK, 5-on-5, power play, and everything.
He's not old.
22.
No, he's young. He's like 23.
No, so I don't get what that $9 million it's not that bad.
Yeah. This might actually end up being a steal. Who knows?
Maybe it might end up being that.
Again, for the first year and a half, I just thought it was a risk. That's it. But he's proving me wrong. That's it. I'm happy to admit that.
Okay, but things are risky.
Devils fans can at me and just say you were wrong. I'm like, cool. I'm happy I was wrong. There's nothing more than I want in this goddamn league is to see young kids succeed.
But listen, if you're gonna take a risk like that, or you want to take a risk like that on a guy like Lane Hutson or some schmo, right? So you're taking a risk on guy with some pedigree, you know what I mean, like a championship.
I don't know if I would call Luke Hughes some schmo. He was what, third overall, second overall?
That wasn't Luke Hughes I was calling a schmo. I meant Lane Hutson, Luke Hughes. I just didn't want to repeat the name, but no, it wasn't Luke Hughes. I meant some schmo. just some other kid that's average talent.
Yeah.
I mean, you're taking a risk on a guy that's worth taking a risk
Jeff
on.
Skinner.
That's what I'm saying.
Jeff Skinner, prime example.
If you're going to take a risk, do it on a championship horse.
Tanner Jeannot, another prime example.
Yeah, that's not a championship horse.
No, he's a horse, just not a championship horse.
Well,
God. Well, anyway, guys, those were the most recent contracts. I mean, it was good contracts. I mean, a lot. It might be another.
Let me bring my topic to bear before we leave this subject. I had this question: do you think we'll see players, a lot of other players, sign shorter term like right now, so that they can cash in down the road in 2-3 years?
No,
honestly, no, I don't think so.
No,
in my opinion, they should, especially where they're projecting the cap to be in the next couple of years. But just hockey players aren't like that. I don't see it.
The current evidence suggests otherwise too. Like Luke and Lane both signed 8-year deals. Jack 8 years. Connor 8 years. McDavid's really the only one that signed the short-term deal, if you really think about it. But McDavid's on the side of I want to win. That's where I think it is. I don't think they're going to do that. I mean, look at Kirill Kaprizov. He's signed 8 years, biggest contract ever, and he's actually performing pretty well this season. So I'm not going to knock it. I hope he proves me wrong. So.
Could have a little to do with it's the last year that they can sign 8 years.
Could be.
That too, yeah. It's a possibility. But
if you listen to any other shows or interviews, a lot of people are saying that players are actually preferring to stay where they are because they like the stability. They don't. It's a pain in the ass to have to continue to move and look for housing and everything like that, especially with any of the housing markets or anything. You never know where it's going to go, and it's more money out of their pocket than in their pocket. Okay. So it's easier for them to stay there and maybe not build a life there per se, but a temporary life and build up stock
especially if you're in a no tax state. Why you want to leave that too quickly? Right?
I mean, we've done it. We've already said it doesn't induce that much.
No,
because of the way
but living there, like you said, housing and all that all affects that. So then, yes, it you have more money for those things. It is still better all around that way, especially if you have a family. So yeah, I would see guys in those states would want to stick around longer too.
Nice.
Maybe there's more loyalty these days. I don't think so, but maybe there is.
I don't think it has to do with loyalty, but maybe it's also just your own comfort. But I don't think I'm with Eric. I don't think so. I don't think it's either hockey players just being like that. I think it's just from a human perspective. I don't want to move every 3 years. You know what I mean? I myself just bought a house, you know what I mean? And before that I was moving every 3 years, and it's a pain in the ass to move. You know what I mean? Even if you hire movers, it's just you got to organize.
When you have their money, it's not. And when you have their money, it's not that bad.
You still got to organize it.
I don't know. It's still pain.
That's why they get married.
Yes. Because then you have to get used to a whole new area. No, I'm all set. No, I'm good. I like where I am. No, I don't think so.
All right.
Well, guys, it's been week 1 or 1 week, I should say, into the NHL season. Most teams have played 2 to 3 games. Some have played 4. What do you guys think of the season so far? I can already tell you one thing that's pissed me off. The refs need to get it together a little bit. It's early in the season, but God, there's been some stuff that needs to, swallow it a bit.
I'm shocked you're saying that.
Just a bit.
If I would have said that, I would Rick and the refs. Rick and the refs.
No, there was. I get it. You're getting they're getting warmed up too. They're trying to figure out how to call the games. I'm just saying just clean it up a bit. Players too. Players need to clean it up.
There's some refs there trying to figure out how to call the games for their whole career so far.
Yeah, and stupid goalie interference seems like it's entering again the conversation.
You and Alex need to get over that.
No, but look, I honestly, when I saw the play happen live, I'm like, they're gonna fucking call this, even though it shouldn't have been called. But did you see the Matt Rempe? That one
that was ridiculous.
But that's allowed. That's allowed.
Yeah, I don't get it either.
But
I don't
like
get
a
it
guy
either.
a goalie
no
that
robbery.
launches himself into the offensive player.
No. We talked about this. Anderson did not launch himself into the attacking
He didn't go
player.
like this.
He was allowed to establish himself in the crease. The player was in the crease at the time of contact. That is perfect. The way I saw that,
Right.
by the book, that's goaltender interference. The Rempe
But
thing,
see,
by the book, goaltender interference. They fucked it up. I agree with you.
I disagree with you on the Flyers, because if you look at Sanheim going in, he does. He goes into the crease. That's fine. I understand that. But, and I've brought this point up before, if that's going to be the case, if it's going to be foot in the crease, then just say foot in the crease. Let's put that 90s rule back in. That's fine. Yep. If you see Sanheim is leaning back, trying to avoid Anderson, and Anderson moves forward to make contact with Sanheim, that's clearly on the goalie. And one way or another, at that point, he was all the way to his right. There was no way he was getting back to the left anyway, even without the contact. So,
no, I agree. There's definitely
it doesn't matter. It's his crease. He's allowed to make his decisions of how he's going to make his saves any way he wants. If that means he moves over to that side and bumps the guy, well, that guy's in the way. It's his crease.
Admittedly,
that's fine. That's fine. But then why was the Rempe thing? The Rempe goal allowed?
Oh no, I agree.
Total inconsistencies on the ref's part, of course. That's why.
Listen, guys, you guys bring up great points. I actually agree with Eric that, like, yes, you can't. It's like, you know, the pot kettle black. You can't disallow that and then allow the other thing. You can't. It looks like it's playing favorites. And if you read the way the rule is written, goalies basically have free reign to do whatever the hell they want. If a player enters their crease, they can slash you, gut you, do whatever they want. There's no rules against that. You know, well, there are, but like, you know, it's like either you clean up that rule a bit, like Eric suggested, which I agree with you, or I don't know, find a better way to teach the refs how to really make that call more consistent, because it is inconsistent. And you're talking about the staunchest person who has been in favor of changing that rule because of what happened with Coyle and Bennett. How that wasn't called was, I will never understand.
No, because look,
another thing I can't let go.
Yeah, no, but look, my biggest worry, because like I said, look, when I saw the play, I figured right away it was going to be called for goal interference. My biggest worry is what Anderson did. Okay, our goalie's now going to be like, because like it or not, he was not in position to make the save after on the rebound. He wasn't. The puck, he was completely on one side. The puck went to the other side. It's open net, goal. Our now goalie's going to be like, okay, the second I see a foot, a toe, something in the crease, now I can make it look like I'm protecting my crease, make contact with a player, knowing if it goes in, they're probably going to call it goal interference anyway.
You're right. And then there's too much gray area in the sense of like, well, they initiated contact, but it wasn't enough contact. Your job isn't, that's when it bothers me, is like, as a referee, when you can zoom it, like when you can dial it down to literally like 1,000 frames per second and you're looking at it like per frame, it doesn't look as bad, because when you slow it down, nothing ever could really look that bad. Like, you know, real speed is always when it looks the worst, if you think about it. So your job, in my opinion, is not to determine whether or not the force was enough. Your damn job is to determine whether or not it happened. So, yes, that's one thing I agree. Goalie interference still seems to be an issue with the league that they cannot get right.
Standardize it.
And I'm with you on that one. There was another one in the Predators game. And I thought Saros really sold the dive. Like, he nudged the pad, absolutely. But I'm like, dude, you fell backward. So, like, I agree. Goalies, good goalies, elite goalies, will look at this and be like, I can get away with whatever the fuck I want. I can have a beer in the crease.
Because it's their crease. If they don't have that, like, it's their crease. If they don't,
it's my fucking puck and I want to score a goal.
They're going to get interfered with left and right.
Oh, I know.
So you have to have that rule. It's their crease. So standardize the rule, the rule for goal interference. Like you said, go back to your foot's in the crease, no goal. That's all.
Well, that's because
standardize it in a way that at least everybody knows what it is.
Yeah, because especially like last year, a few times you saw it. Like the second up, even like just the tip of your skate was in the crease, and there was the slightest contact with the goalie. They were calling it goalie interference.
Hell, at some point, even if your foot was in the crease and you scored a goal, it's not a good goal.
Well, all I'm saying is, and especially like again, my biggest issue with this with the no goal on Philly was that you saw that Sanheim was intentionally trying to avoid Anderson. He was going and he was leaning back just not to make that contact, and contact was still made. So like whatever, I get it. Contact was made. Now, who initiated that contact? I personally think Anderson initiated it more than Sanheim did. And like I said, whatever. The goal didn't count. The goal didn't count. Whatever. It's just that I just hope that this just doesn't become like a standard thing now in with goalies. Is that now it's like they're gonna create their own goalie interference.
It's almost like a catch-22, right? Because like, how do you even standardize that? Because if you make it like if you then the goalies are going to take advantage of it. If you don't,
start calling the goalie for embellishment.
Are going to take advantage. What's that?
Start calling the goalie for embellishment. I mean, no, seriously, go look at. There was one I think with Yossi Saros. I can't remember who was entering the crease, but the guy literally nicked his pad, but Saros fell backward.
Yeah,
when he was going from left to right. And I'm like, dude, he nicked your pad. He didn't nick your body. I'm like, you're also telling me that you're an NHL caliber goaltender and you don't have amazing core strength or balance. You're full of your own crap.
But for me, the point is, if you're the refs and you're looking at it on videotape, how can you not tell at that point, right? You might not be able to tell right away 100%, but you review it and then you still get it wrong. So how do you fix that? That's what I don't know. They can't get it right on a review.
Put Bettman on the ice and have people throw squid at him.
I don't know. I think they just have to make it just a little more clear. I don't know what else they could write. Like at the same time, maybe make it like, look, when you're looking at the review, was contact made? Yes, but who initiated the contact? If the goalie initiated the contact, then I'm sorry, it's not goalie interference because he's the one who initiated the contact.
But then does that
whether it's his crease, fine, whatever. I understand it's his crease. But again, players are allowed to have their foot in the crease, right? That they took away that rule. So like
but like listen, a goalie can initiate contact sometimes not on purpose and sometimes on purpose. But even if it's on
what
purpose,
do you determine
their crease? Wait, even if it's on purpose, it's their crease. Why aren't they allowed to initiate the contact? And then that actually does impede them from making the save. Does that mean that, well, it's on the goalie? But no, it's still on the player that's not supposed to be in the crease.
I agree with Rick because then you get into this ticky-tack thing about,
that's the problem.
Was the goalie, you get to this ticky-tack thing whether or not, like, is the goalie initiating contact in defense of himself because of the player crashing the net? Like, how do you, that becomes so subjective. So, no, I agree. It's an issue in the league. It needs to be ironed out. It sucks that it happened to Philly and then New York got away with it. And then, it's just, it's painful to watch because you just feel like some of these things are just so like, oh, come on, that wasn't even that bad. Like, or it wasn't even bad. It didn't interfere with anything. Like, so you really should like it. I don't know. It's fine. It's not fine, but it's not fine. Something that the league needs to iron out.
I don't know how they fix
it's not fine.
No matter how you kind of look at it, it's still subjective referee to referee. Like if you can't see it and everybody kind of see the same thing when it's slowed down that much, then I don't know how are you going to fix this? It's going to be a problem for a long time, more than likely.
It will.
All right. Yeah. Well, outside of that lovely gripe with the referees and goaltender interference, I feel like everyone feels. Anyway, what did you guys think about week 1? Who impressed? Who didn't? Who were some frauds? Like, what are we thinking?
I only watch Habs hockey, so I don't know.
Well, they're the biggest frauds of them all.
Honestly, it's too early to tell.
Too early.
With only 2-3 games played, like if I have a surprise, like look, Seattle, I think is what 2-0. Nashville are 2-0-1.
Bruins are 3-0.
Yeah, 3-1 now.
3-1 now. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, so like those are like some surprises, but again, too early, 2-3 games in. But but I actually want to touch on Buffalo for a second. I'm gonna bring it up. If I can because something that happened early in the very early in the season to Buffalo, and something that we touched upon it on this pod last season when it happened. I thought it was the dumbest trade ever. Well, not the dumbest trade ever, but like Ottawa traded. Okay, Ottawa traded Josh Norris and Bernard Docker to Buffalo for Cousins, Gilbert, and a second round pick. And what does Buffalo one does not qualify Bernard Docker.
Yep.
Josh Norris plays 3 games for them last year when he got traded, got hurt. And surprise, game 1 of the season.
Yeah.
Josh Norris gets hurt again.
Out for 8 weeks.
8 weeks?
8 weeks.
Oh my God.
I didn't see the timeline, but all I read was significant injury, a significant amount of time.
Oh my God.
Not to mention, Zach Benson also went down, I think, with an infection. And then Owen Power got sick. So it's just kind of like, dude, are they cursed?
I think maybe they are.
But even then, Ukko-Pekka, longest last name ever. I'm never gonna say it. Like that's his name.
Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen.
Yeah, Ukko-Pekka, longest last name ever. Shorten the fucking name. Like he goes down with an injury, but albeit Alex Lyon has been good for them. He's kept them in games. Like I'm gonna give him a ton of credit. He's probably the only Buffalo player that gives a shit. Lindy Ruff, he doesn't make it to December. Lindy Ruff does not make it to December.
Oh, they gotta blow.
Peter DeBoer is gonna replace Lindy Ruff. I'm telling you.
Peter DeBoer.
Oh, that would be an interesting hire. Actually,
I would not be surprised if Peter DeBoer replaces Lindy Ruff, and that way he can bully another fucking goalie.
Exactly.
No, but man, I just don't know what to do. Like, I don't know what to say about Buffalo anymore. Like that trade again, that trade made no sense. It made no. You traded a quality young big center for an injury, and you gave up a second too. This is what's getting me is that, and you gave up a second also, and you got back an injury prone, because it's not like Josh Norris has never been hurt before, and now all of a sudden he goes to Buffalo. He has a history. He has a history.
Yeah,
I know. Bad.
And what, you expect him to stay healthy for 82 games year after year?
Did you guys see? Like, listen, we're 3 games into the season, and you're right. It's way too early to make like these assumptions, but you can definitely gauge something off some first impressions.
Oh,
like you can definitely look at something. They were already throwing jerseys onto the Buffalo Sabres ice.
Oh yeah, the fans must be fed up.
Like it took them, what was it? At least 2 games to score 1 goal, and their first goal of the season was scored by a Bruin because it tipped off of Andrew Peake's stick. Like it was just a wild deflection, right? So that's not really something to be joyous over.
No,
they've been outscored 11-2, I think it is.
Wow,
in 3 games.
Yeah.
Oh man,
not that Tampa was doing that much better. Like they allowed 10 goals through 2 games too. So I mean, like it's crazy. I just think I don't even know. And if you look at the Buffalo defense, Power, Dahlin, Kesselring, Byram, and then
Samuelson.
Sure. Yeah, Samuelson
actually played he played well.
Your top 5 D-men are good.
Yeah.
How did you get outshot 17-1 in period 1 against Boston, who has 0 offense?
Coach that doesn't have any answers.
Yeah. Coach is just he's done. Like the game has. I personally think the game has passed Lindy Ruff by.
Yeah.
I think they have the wrong mix up front. They do not have the right mix up front. I've said it a couple years. I've been saying this. It's just not right.
When are they going to get it right? And when they get good guys, they trade them away for nothing.
Like I'm not even a Sabres fan. It drives me crazy. You have these young assets that you could trade for good, solid veteran help, and then you trade Cousins for Josh Norris.
Yeah.
What are you doing? What are you doing? It makes no sense.
Are they trying to go after McKenna?
I think so.
No, they've
Like they don't have a
stated
good
they
enough
don't
team.
want to be a lottery pick this year, but they've been saying that for the last 10 years. So I don't know whether they're just lying or if, like they just suck that bad.
They
No,
just
the
suck that
Bagula,
bad.
listen, the Bagula's got to go. I understood they hired a hockey advisor to kind of get the ball rolling here. But my God, guys, like they're only 0-3. They could hit a stride with once Norris comes back, only to get injured again. And like, they could hit a stride. It's too early in the season. But I can tell you now, with how they've looked in those 3 games, it is not good.
Yeah, really, it's not good.
Like last in the offseason, this past offseason, it was reported that apparently Rasmus Dahlin he went into I forget if it was, I don't think it was ownership, but like management's offices and whatever, and literally told them like, what's going on here? Like, I want to know where we're headed, what's going on, because like this is getting a bit ridiculous now. So guys, man, if this continues for Buffalo, if he requests a trade, man, that's gonna be huge.
Yeah, it's a tire fire there.
Well, I'm calling it now. Rasmus Dahlin will be a Philadelphia Flyer before the start next season.
Okay, Jamey. Okay, Jamey. No.
Oh God, send him to Philly. Send him.
I'm telling you, it's gonna happen, guys. It's gonna happen.
Yeah,
listen, you also mentioned Boston with like 3-0. Yeah, like that was a surprise. It was a welcomed one, and I talked about it on Highbrew. But the only game where I felt like that was a solid showing of what Boston could do would be the Capitals game, because the Capitals are a playoff team. Chicago's not a playoff team. Chicago looks better. They look better. I think they look better. They're just, their stats don't show it. But Frank Nazar looks better. Bedard looks better. You can still look better and be a crappy team all around.
They can't take,
but I think they're yeah, you're right. They can't. But ultimately, Rick, you can't not tell me that they've been in the games that they've been playing. They've been.
Listen,
they've been toe to toe with them.
Despite 10 penalties against us, we needed to get to 15 seconds left in the game before we could win the game 3-2. So yeah, I'll give you that.
Spencer Knight too. I forget which. I think it was their second. Another Montreal game. I think it must have been their second game I was watching. Spencer Knight looked really good.
Yeah, he was in the game.
I think he kept them in against Florida.
It was a Florida game I was watching. Yeah.
No, he's going to be good for them. There's no doubt. They're getting better. There's no doubt. And you're right about Bedard looks a little better. He's feisty too. He doesn't back down.
Yeah.
And like Frank Nazar, I mean, I like that player.
So
he's a good player, and he's a Habs killer too. So in general, not the other night, but so yeah.
And to my surprise, obviously, I'm a Boston guy. I didn't think Boston was going to open 3-0-0. I actually had us losing against the Sabres, but then that was giving way too much credit to the Sabres.
You know how a lot of the bottom teams at the end of the season, they have really good starts?
Yeah.
There you go.
But you never know. Even today against Tampa, Boston looked good. It was just a lot of defensive. It was defensive breakdown.
Sustainable. Sorry.
Again, you'll see.
We'll see.
I don't think Boston's a playoff team. I don't. But I think they went from 7th to 6th place in my mind. Like, you know what I mean? Because after looking at Buffalo, I'm convinced.
Weirder things have happened, so it's not like it's totally unheard of.
I'm being realistic.
Likely.
I'm going to be realistic.
Yeah.
I still think it's only 6th place. I still don't think they're a playoff team. Some people have them there. I don't. I'd be happy if they were, but obviously, I just don't have it. I think Nashville's a fraud. I'm with you. With you, Eric, on that. I don't think that's sustainable. But Brady Martin looks good. I think he's impressing. You should give credit to that too.
All right, actually, yeah. I'll give him. Yeah,
we're playing them.
I don't think he played today though. I was looking at the lineup. I don't think he played today.
We're playing them on Thursday.
I think they might be doing like a little load management with him too. That's a lot to ask for an 18-year-old kid, man. Be your 1C. Shit.
Yep. Minnesota, Winnipeg, they look fine. A lot of 1-1s in the West, so it's kind of really hard to see what's going on over there.
So early, it's too early for any of that.
Anaheim's kind of unimpressed me a little bit. I thought they would come out of the gate a little bit stronger, but Beckett Seneca looks good.
Yeah,
I think
he's having a good start.
I think it's gonna take maybe 10 games for them to actually really show what they can do, because you're adjusting to Quenneville, you got a whole bunch of new guys. You basically have the New York Rangers and Jacob Trouba and Chris Kreider and pretty much everybody. He took everybody from them. So it's the Anaheim Rangers.
Well, at the 10-game mark, I mean, that's when you can start to look and say, okay, maybe things are starting to look one way or the other. But until then, it's really tough to be sure for, some teams, it's obvious that they're either crap or they're, wow, these guys are good.
Yep. And then the Sharks did the funniest fucking thing ever by that OT goal. So bad. You guys see that?
No, I didn't see any.
I heard about it. I didn't see the highlight. Oh, then the Dalkovich one, no?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I saw it. Yeah. Yes.
How? That's just crazy.
So
honestly, if you look at it,
explain it for me. I didn't see it.
So Nadal, Eric, help me out with that.
Nedeljkovic.
Thank you. I can say Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, but I can't say Nadal.
You just said it. Look at that
guy.
Miracle of miracles.
Yeah, I know, right? I can say that, but I can't say
Nedeljkovic.
Sure. Of all the names, of everything that I could say, basically, it was going to be either a 2-1-1 or a 2-1-0 if he did not come out and play that puck. But the problem was the puck was basically at his blue line, and it either got poked off of his stick, and basically Riley Smith was waiting right in front of the net for the pass, and he just went dunk, and it goes in. It really was like why didn't you just take the 2-0 chance? But honestly, the result would have likely been the same.
Yeah.
But still, it was just like a dude. What? So
that happens. Sometimes you think I got this. I can make it.
Yep.
Nope.
Still a bottom of the barrel team, but whatever.
Yeah, we're not expecting much from them this year.
Isn't it San Jose that traded for the Ryan Ellis contract?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Right. So they got Carey Price's contract and Ryan Ellis. That team is going to be moving some guys soon.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
In the hopes of getting McKenna. What do you think?
Oh yeah, for sure, 100%.
They have stated that they don't want to do that.
Yeah, and then they go and get two guys.
No, this was after the fact that they do not want a McKenna because they feel like they have enough offense. So I don't know if they do get the first overall pick. Do they just dangle that and say, "Gimme"? But that would also piss off. Or they take the defenseman at 1. But if they do that, who
does that? No, come on, who does that?
Yeah, but I'm blanking on his name. I would have to look it up. But like apparently he's battling for the first overall. Like he's good. He's not like a. Maybe instead it's like
if there's a guy of that quality, okay, that's fair. But I haven't heard of anybody yet. But I'm just saying in general. Who doesn't take that guy when you get first overall?
Dude, it doesn't matter because the Sharks are going to get the second overall pick and Pittsburgh's going to get McKenna. Who the fuck are we kidding?
And because none of that is guaranteed anyway. But they're going for that top pick, like a high pick. Oh, yeah, it looks like
they're going for.
Why would they trade to get 2 contracts that they're going to use to keep above the floor if they're not going to move guys?
Don't expect Tyler to fully get there.
They know.
Yeah,
they're going to be sellers this year, possibly, maybe even again next year.
Yeah,
Orlov's probably moving.
Yeah, because also like the Carey Price contract is done after this year, and I think
it's 1 year, but it's a significant amount. So like you might be planning to move some more than one guy.
No, but what I'm trying to say is like the Ryan Ellis had an extra year on his contract, so it's like even for next year, like they're still going to need to.
Yeah, true.
Like they're still going to need to get to the floor one way or another, and. It's not like they're gonna have to pay their guys big money like next year. It's still gonna take another year or two. So,
but if you're not planning to use that, you're not. Why are you trading for it?
No, that's why. No. They're gonna move guys. Whatever UFAs they have there. Right now, they're gonna be moved at the end of the season. Like that's a guarantee.
Yeah, I'm there.
By the deadline, because they're not. Come on, let's get serious. They're not.
I don't think they're that far out from being at least like in the middle of the pack, like the 10 to 16 range. I don't think they're that far out, but like
but they won't hit it if they're planning to move guys. Then to use like they're not going to have like I was thinking that they might. We did this thing about the biggest risers, teams that are going to have, and I had them like maybe 10 points over what they had last year, but I'm kind of second guessing that.
I think
seems like a
Toffoli
team
and
that's gonna.
Toffoli and Dmitry Orlov. Watch those two. I think they'll be gone. A lot of teams will.
Well, yeah,
But didn't Orlov signed big but he signed with term.
I don't think so. I think he only has like 1 more year, 2
Who,
more years.
Toffoli, he did, but he signed a couple of years ago, so he probably has
Orlov.
1 more after this.
Hold on. No, Dmitry Orlov has this year and next.
Yeah, and Toffoli probably this year and next. He signed.
Okay,
yeah, he only signed for 4.
Right now, the only
Oh.
defensemen that they have under contract that are playing for next year are Dmitry Orlov and Sam Dickinson. Everyone else is the UFA.
Nick Leddy. Nick Leddy is going to be a guy that's on the move.
Yeah, they're going to move salary. They're going to move veterans with salary and term, a little bit of term or whatever,
But
and they're going to move it this year.
That is
Otherwise,
definitely
it doesn't make sense. They made trades to pick up guys that they can't use. That doesn't make sense.
But just on defense, UFAs that they have for that are going to be UFA at the end of this year: Nick Leddy, John Klingberg, Mario Ferraro, Timothy Liljegren, Vincent Desharnais. So
that's fine though. That'll be a conversation for when we actually hit the trade deadline and when they're close to the bottom of that pact. In the meantime, we're gonna shift our focus to the Toronto Maple Laughs.
Ooh, my favorite subject.
Who are now officially begun their season without Mitch Marner, and they are missing him.
Oh boy.
And you can tell.
Oh yeah.
Who'd have thunk it?
They won in their home opener against Montreal. Sorry to bring that up, Rick. I know that broke your heart.
Okay. That's fine.
It broke my heart too because I bet on Montreal to win, and you guys just sucked.
Shit the bed a little bit. Yep.
Thanks a lot. Last time I ever bet on Montreal for fucking anything.
Well, we don't want any Bruins money, okay?
That's fine. I wanted Montreal money, so that's like if that means anything to you.
It's worth a little less.
But then they lose 2 in a row to Detroit in the home and home. You can't lose to Detroit.
Not
especially after we crushed them 5-1.
Not twice.
Yeah, you can't do that.
I'll give them credit. The game today, they did outplay Detroit though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's not enough when you need to win. Just because I mean, it's like a moral victory, but our moral victory is going to cut it. No.
Well, hold on. Listen to this though. Like their first loss to Detroit, which I believe was in Detroit, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so. Yeah.
It was 6-3. So you let Detroit score 6 goals. Now, again, I'll give Detroit credit. Their offense, they can score goals. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that they can't.
Yeah,
they can. They absolutely can. But you're telling me that you can't answer or come back with that? This is pretty fucking bad. And then you go and lose in your own barn 3-2. I think today it was.
Yeah, 3-2. Yeah, they allowed a goal with 44 seconds left in the third.
Oh,
good. Something like 44 seconds, something like that.
That's a killer.
That is a backbreaker.
Yep. But not only that, in the second game, you outshoot them 40-15.
Oh yeah. Oh, they dominated that game. Cam Talbot played out of his mind today.
Sure.
Yeah, they got. And sometimes it happens, right? A hot goalie.
You got beat by a 38-year-old. You got beat by a 38-year-old goaltender. You have some of the youngest and best talent in the NHL, and you couldn't.
There's still guys there that got beat by a Zamboni driver. So
That's true.
Do you guys?
Part of me does wonder though, when the Zamboni driver substituted in, if they really were playing that hard, were they really shooting the puck that hard at him? Part of me does wonder that, but I'm gonna assume so.
I saw that game. They were trying. I think anyway.
Great.
I mean, really, are you going to do that because he's your Zamboni driver? You're not going to come on.
Yeah,
if that's the case, then you're a bunch of pussies.
No, that's just me. Speculation.
I saw the game though. I remember.
Do you guys want to know? Do you guys want to know what Toronto's power play is? Saw Mitch Marner so far this season.
0.
0 for 6.
Yeah, I said it.
Yep. And you have a guy like Austin Matthews, Matthew Nyes, Willie Nylander. You have those 3 guys, and I'll give you Matai and Jonathan Tavares too. I'll also give you him, and you can't bury it. I mean, come on, guys. I think Mitch. A lot of Leafs fans who crapped on Mitch Marner, they're gonna end up regretting that.
Again, still early, but I think you're right. But I mean, again, it's still early. But I do think you're right. I think down the road, when it's still kind of like this, you're going to go, wow, Marner was more important to this team than we thought.
I want to just also point this out that the only goal that Matthews has scored this season has been against the Canadiens. And I'm sorry, I would expect Matthews to score 2 or 3 goals against Detroit.
Wasn't
Not
it an empty netter
per
too?
game.
Wasn't it an empty netter?
What was that?
Wasn't it an empty netter against Montreal that he got?
I'm not positive, but if that's the
Not
case,
sure
that's
either.
not what you should be paying your 12, 13 million dollar guy. No, he needs to be better. He needs to step it up. That's your captain too.
Yeah, but you have to have, you have to be somewhat endowed in the crotch area, I'll say, to do that. And I don't think he is.
I think that was implicit enough by saying the word endowed.
Well, you have to have balls, is what I'm saying.
I understand what you're saying, Rick. I mean,
so he doesn't have them. I don't think he has them.
I wouldn't be. Hey, listen, the Leafs can turn it around. Like this could be.
Of course, it's only 3 games. Yeah, but
it could be a rough start. But again, these first impressions.
Let's put it this way: when these first impressions are what so many people were thinking was gonna happen.
Yep.
That's kind of a good sign that is what's going to happen, at least somewhat.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, Eric, but by first impressions, Eric might have a point. Looking at it, they could drop out of the playoffs if this is how they're going to continue to play. And I think they played down to Detroit in the first game.
Mm-hmm.
They definitely played down to them.
With Berube as their coach, he'll get them back somewhat.
I think so.
But are they going to be good enough, though, to be in the top 3? I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I don't.
Especially now. I mean, I kind of have them. I think I had them in 3rd, but not confidently. So.
And like I mentioned, like one big thing for me about the Leafs, especially in the offseason, and I think I mentioned it here too. A lot of teams that were either behind them or in front of them got better, and they got worse.
Yeah, they didn't.
They did not get better. They didn't.
It's not easy to get better when you lose a 102-point player who played literally on 5-on-5, penalty kill, and power play. Like you're not. That's hard to make up.
Oh, but Vegas is loving Marner.
Wow, for sure.
Vegas is loving him. Game 1, I think both him and Eichel had 3 or 4 points. So, baby.
It must be very freeing for a guy like Marner, who kind of was their scapegoat a lot, right, in Toronto. Well, it must be freeing to finally get out of there and not have that pressure.
Well, guess who's going to be the scapegoat this year? Pappy.
Oh, it's going to be Matthews.
Matthews is going to get run. And it's not fair. And it's not fair. I'm going to tell you, it's not fair.
Well, my biggest concern with Matthews is his health. Like,
what's not fair that he's going to get run? What's not fair about it?
Because of the way Toronto fans treat their players, or at least the bad ones.
Okay.
It is just abysmal how they do it. So that's what's not fair to Matthews. Is Matthews open to criticism? Absolutely. Any NHL player is. Yeah. But not to the level that the Leafs will take it.
And maybe if he doesn't want it, he should have stepped up in times when he just absolutely didn't show up. Like if they had won a cup, like they had a successful run in his time there so far, just get to the finals. If they had done that and he was like the star going, like, okay, but it's never been that. He's never done anything to lead them anywhere. So if he gets run because he's not performing this year, well,
I'm not saying hockey players are not open to criticisms based upon their role and who they are on the team. But what I'm saying is that they are not. That doesn't mean they're open to the amount of debauchery, to the point where threats were making it to Mitch Marner's house.
Well,
they were they were fans stalking his family.
I heard
there's a line, you know what I mean?
I heard they dump golf balls all over his. He has a cottage or something somewhere in somewhere. and they dumped golf balls all over his
funny.
front lawn.
That's funny.
Only to find out that
only
to find out that he was that key to their success that they had. Imagine that.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, listen, we all know Leafs fans can be
a
little extreme, but they live and die so much with how the Leafs do.
Mm.
You know, I mean, when you're waiting like 100 years to win a cup, you know,
longest drought right now.
I imagine it's very tough.
Yeah. No, it's because like, but it's, but they do like I find like, but in general, like the fans and the media, they just do it to themselves
every year.
It's because it's like
every year.
When like I remember I think it was the hockey news. I don't remember which one it was, but like when right at the beginning of this rebuild, like when they got Matthews and they got Marner and everything, and they had some kind of headline about them being future Stanley Cup winners, whatever. It's like, guys, stop until they actually accomplish something. Like, why? You're putting all this added pressure on this team. All this, and then the second they fail or the second they show some kind of crack or weakness, they jump all over them, and it's like, it's a mess over there.
Glad I'm not a Leafs fan.
No, it was great topic to kind of to end it on the NHL weekly wrap up. So why don't we get on to our question of the week?
Yep,
and determine what we would rather have. But first, before we do that, let's actually announce our Puck Bunny Magnet of the Week.
Woo! Woo!
I put a poll out on Twitter, and the people have spoken. This week's Puck Bunny Magnet was going to be between Cale Makar of the Colorado Avalanche, Jack Hughes of the New Jersey Devils, and Zane Parekh of the Calgary Flames. To be honest with you, Zane, I was struggling to come up with some names on the spot here, so I was just like, all right, this guy.
I don't even know what he looks like.
Zane,
neither do I.
What
was that? With or without the mustache?
Yeah, did you see that picture?
I don't know.
With a mustache was.
Oh God, I don't know. I can't. I don't know. I didn't put stipulations on this. I'm just the guy. You know what I mean? And this week's winner, to no surprise, was Cale Makar. So congratulations, Cale. You are this week's Puck Bunny Magnet of the Week. You got 50% of the vote.
Really?
Zane actually got 17% of the vote.
Really?
And Hughes got 13. I was pretty surprised by that.
Me too. I was thinking Hughes was going to win that.
Yeah. But wow, last on that.
Wow. Yeah. Surprise. Never know.
So congratulations, Cale. You're hot as fuck.
Congratulations. Do you think he'll hear about it?
Probably not. No, yeah, I know him. We text back and forth.
Yeah.
Best friends. Yeah, he invited me to his cookout over the summer. I couldn't make it because I was too busy doing this fucking show.
Damn it. That's how dedicated you are.
I know, right?
Yeah.
And that's why we're best friends, because he respects the grind. He respects the grind.
Gotta respect the grind.
So guys, this week's question. Would you guys rather have an elite power play or an elite penalty kill? This is not a power play player or quarterback or a penalty kill driver. This is literally if you're down a man, would you rather have that? Be probably, let's put some numbers on it, right? An elite penalty killing, what would you say is probably let's just say 93%?
Elite?
Wow.
83.
Well, no.
85
I guess is usually pretty top.
Yeah, 85% would be elite in my mind.
All right, why don't we put it this way? I'll say, because I'm going to go off of 2011, because I think that's when Boston had 94%, or I think there was a time where Boston had 92%. There was a team I know at some point that I believe finished with 92% on the penalty kill. So let's say 92% on the penalty kill. And what would you say in the lead power play is 30%?
33%, yeah, something like that.
33? All right.
Low 30s, yeah.
So would you rather have a 33% power play or a 92% penalty kill? The floor is yours, gentlemen.
You made it even more difficult.
Fight.
With those kind of numbers. If it's just elite power play or penalty kill, I would say power play, because you don't have to have an elite penalty kill. But if you don't have a good, solid, the better your power play, the better chances you are of winning. If you have a shitty power play, you're not going anywhere.
I can contest that, because the year in 2019 that won the cup, Boston had the best power play in the playoffs did not win the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, but I think your chances are better. I'm not saying that you're going to definitely win the cup, but I just think the power play might be more important than at an elite level we're talking about, right? So you can have like an average PK, but if you have an elite power play, I think that's going to do you better, is what I'm saying.
Okay. Well, you mentioned that the numbers kind of threw a wrench in your thought process. So taking the numbers into consideration, and so without the numbers, you're taking the elite power play, but putting those numbers into perspective, does that change your mind?
Makes me think.
It makes him think. All right. Well, while Rick thinks, we'll go to Eric.
I think I'm gonna go with the penalty kill.
Okay.
Because the way I see it is, if you have an elite power play, and let's say 33%, let's say. So that means I'm only scoring 1 out of 3 times on the power play. What if I have a game where I only get 1 or 2 power play opportunities? Maybe I don't score at all. Whereas if I have an elite PK, at least I know, and I'm killing it off 9 out of 10 times, let's say, I know that I can take some extra liberties, let's say, during my games, especially in the playoffs where, I could play a little extra physical. I could give maybe a couple extra dirty shots here or there, where try to instill that little bit of intimidation factor, knowing that even if we go shorthanded, there's a good chance we're just gonna kill it off anyway. So
but are you really saying that you'd rather take the chance being shorthanded and coming out ahead than having the man advantage? Really?
No, I'm not saying that I would look, I could have an elite power play, elite penalty kill, and my power play could still, even if my power play, let's say, is 15th in the league, mid-range, that's still decent. But at least I know.
Okay. You're just flipping the tables on what I said, and then you could be right on both counts if you're going to say it like that. I mean,
I don't think this is right.
I'm just
there's
saying
no right or wrong answer to this question. It's definitely a matter.
There is my answer.
I'm just saying I'd rather have the elite PK, because I know if my team is able to, 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna shut that opponent's power play down. I'm gonna take more liberties during the game. That I'm gonna try to intimidate the other team a little bit more, knowing that my guys could probably shut it down.
Yeah, but you could have more discipline, not take penalties, and then with your elite power play, the other team could have 3-4 penalties. I mean, you're taking advantage of it that way.
But at the same time, I have to get power play opportunities too.
It's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, if you ask me, kind of.
Because especially look in the playoffs, they barely fucking call penalties. So I'm if they're only gonna call one let's say I'm playing a game and I only get 1 power play opportunity, and like I said, my power play runs at 33%. Well, there's a 2 out of 3 chance I don't score on that power play, even if it's elite.
You know what pisses me off though? When I'm making an argument and you have to come up with a good fucking point. I hate that.
Okay. Well,
that's a good point.
Eric does bring up a good point. I'm also going to say this too. If I have an elite power play, what if I run into an elite goaltender? Because now that does impact your stats. But with my elite penalty kill, I agree with Eric that you can take those, extra liberties, obviously within reason. We're talking about if this is where minors or double.
Stick at some guy's
head, but we're gonna say minors or double minors, right? We're not gonna say a major penalty. That's egregious. And there are on average about 2.71 power plays per game. So if you're 1 in 3, well, that kind of runs you down a bit, right? So it's just kind of
okay.
You could,
if you're looking and saying, okay, we can take advantage of it and take extra penalties, now you're taxing your players, though, for nothing. You're not taxing them on the power play.
That's an even better point, too, that you can also counteract with that, taking those liberties and going down, a man, 3 times a period. Then fatigue settles in.
Yeah.
Look, at the same time, look, at least I know that I can give Connor McDavid a shot in the nuts and I can probably kill it off. So.
Get ejected for spearing and then just call it a day.
And it's worse.
Tyler Myers get fucking
Oh my God.
Nah, I'm still gonna stick with I'd rather have
Those are the wrong kind of liberties to be taking, Eric.
Fucking, I have an elite power play cam. I have an elite penalty kill cam. I don't care.
Eric's just like, I'm 92% of the penalty kill. I don't give
something
a fuck.
that goes,
but you know what? You're out 2 nuts.
You know something that goes against my argument is the Detroit Red Wings, because last season they had an amazing power play, 27%, but their PK sucked. And
there's the thing.
So like, kind of it's against my argument.
I wouldn't say that, because you could also have a really good penalty kill and then a really crappy power play. Like it all depends on how the team is built. Honestly, if it were me, I would take the penalty kill, but that's only because I'm basing it off of Boston, and we tend to be in the box a lot. So like,
yeah, I just think that I don't think there's a right answer, and it depending on the team and all that. And I think it's so close anyway. And I don't think it really, but it's really, that's a really, it's really hard. That's really hard to kind of decide.
Yeah. If you had to, but if you had to pick, I mean, no, you make a case for the power play. Like, it's better to be a man up than a man down, right? But Eric is also at but I could also, if I go and, say board someone, and then they're also getting more fatigue because they keep getting crunched, then fine. If my team just has to kill it off for 2 minutes, but that guy is even now more exhausted because he might have twisted something and he's not to 100%. There's arguments for
okay, but how about this? Teams that have more power plays as opposed to teams that have to kill more penalties, who wins more? In a game where you've got 10 power plays or you got 10 PKs, where do you think you're gonna do better?
Okay, well now you're putting those fake.
That's
now you're putting fake numbers into it. You know what I mean? At least go off of an average. The average power play per game is about 2.7. Yeah, that's would you rather be down 2.7 times, or would you rather be up 2.7 times?
Well, it depends. If you're talking about with a girl, I'd be down for sure. But if you're talking about in hockey, it would definitely have to. I'm still gonna go with the power play. For me,
I'm not trying to convince you to go to the penalty kill.
Really
I'm just
close, though. No, but it's really close. That's really close. This is a really hard one.
There's no right or wrong answer to this. I don't think it's if you were building your team from scratch, from bottom up, what would be your primary focus?
Yeah, then I think
he's just I'd rather focus more on the power play than the penalty kill.
No, I think
for Eric,
I'm going to go the opposite. If I'm building a new team and I'm going from the PK up. I'd start with, I think a young team like that, you're better off with a better PK. I think, that's how I would go, but yeah. So even though it's the opposite, but yeah.
No, that's funny because then that means on a veteran team, you would rather have the power play. So no, that's fine. So you have a good case. Yeah, so you can easily say this, it's dependent. If you want, if you have a young team. Yeah,
it is, because you can make a good argument, I think, both ways.
And also, at the same time, if you have an elite penalty kill, you might be scoring some shorthanded goals too.
That's true too. Yeah, no, that's true too. One thing you can't do on a power play, you can't score a shorthanded goal on a power play.
That would get scored on though. Crazy. Even if it's an elite power play, you could get scored on.
Yeah. That's not true. If you have an elite power play, you could score a shorthanded goal. It would just be for the other team.
You score in your own net. Does it count? Your stats?
It's not really a power play goal. It's a shorthanded goal for the other team. It just doesn't count for you. That's it. So you really could do it. It's just it would be unfortunate, and it has happened in the past. So
semantics, dude.
But yeah, all right. No, I think it was a good argument, guys. Fans, let us know down in the comments or add us and just say, what would you think if you were building a team, or if you had a veteran team, a young team, or just in general, what would you rather prefer for your favorite team? Based upon whatever you want. Make the case, make the argument. Yell at Rick, yell at me, yell at Eric.
That's a good point, because it does depend on the team you have, right?
Good. Absolutely could.
There's so many things involved in that, but if
you were a coach,
it evens it out. If you go, and then that evens it out. That side, then but all the arguments kind of still leave you with it's really fucking close.
Yeah. Or if you have a coaching philosophy, what's more important to you? A strong defensive game or one that just goes high powered, full throttle offense?
Right.
So
True.
it's all up in the air, man. It's all up in the air.
Kind of
But
team
let
you
us know
have,
down in the
and
comments.
what kind of coach you have too.
Yeah. Guys, final thoughts before we close out.
Final thoughts. I'm hungry.
Yeah. I'm hungry too.
Yeah.
That's my final thought.
That's crazy.
That's a good thought.
Well, I don't have any final thoughts aside of the fact that hockey is back, guys. It's been week 1. We're about to head into week 2. Actually, technically, week 2 has already started on this day of October 13th.
Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving to happy Thanksgiving to the Canadians who celebrate it, and happy Columbus Day to U.S. citizens for those who recognize it. So awesome, guys. Well, this was episode 86, New Deals. Be sure to like, subscribe to our YouTube. Don't forget to follow us on all of our social media, Bluesky, Twitter, TikTok, the whole shebang. We're everywhere. Don't forget that you can also listen to us on Spotify. Follow us there as well. We appreciate your support. And don't forget that we also have merchandise. So don't forget to click the link in the description to also support us there as well. It's very much appreciated. And it's the promotion of the month, guys. Go get your Bozo Alert t-shirt. Bozos. It's a great thing to have and a great gift for your family. But we will be back next week for more general hockey talk, and we'll probably be doing some live episodes where we have something big planned for the 100th. So be sure to be on the lookout for that as well. And until next time, guys, peace out.
Ciao, everybody.
Promise that you'll kiss me.